Hey, New City. This is Thurman Williams, pastor from New City, West End, and I get to bring you a pastoral devotional today. And one of our core values that we share among all the New City sites, we call humility and humble circumstances, God's power revealed in human weakness. And I love this passage that's quoted here around that value. It's from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 9 and 10. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, it says, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong. People of God, what have these last few months been like for you? Has God been showing you places where you or we are weak, where we need the sufficiency of his grace? What's he been showing you? You say, well, there's a lot of things he's been showing me about my own weakness. Why? Well, there's at least three things that he pulls out here in this passage that why we need him to show us that his grace is sufficient and his power is made perfect in weakness. First, the reason is because of our own pride. If you look at verse 7 in that passage, it says, to keep me from being too conceited by the surpassing greatness of the revelations. And Paul had been talking about these spiritual revelations he'd seen. A thorn was given me in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to harass me. And then it says again, to keep me from becoming too conceited. So at the beginning of the verse and the end of the verse, it says this thorn in the flesh, and we don't know what that is. It could be spiritual attack. It could be physical attack. It could be some kind of ailment he's having. Maybe it's good that God doesn't tell us specifically what it was, because there's a lot of things like that can be thorns in the flesh that can harass us. But he's saying, both at the beginning of the verse and the ending, that we need those things because of our pride. Our pride is a greater threat to us, is a greater threat to our souls than is whatever that thorn in the flesh is. Do you realize that today? Well, not only does he teach us about pride, but also he teaches us something about prayer. If you look at verse 8, it says, 3 times I pleaded with the Lord about this, that it should leave me. And there's an encouraging part of that this is something that obviously had afflicted Paul greatly. And what did he do with it? He took it to God in prayer and he pleaded with the Lord to take it away, to do something with it. What are the thorns in the flesh that you're facing? What are the great trials that you're going through? Are you bringing those to God in prayer? Paul shows us that that's the place that we bring him. He says, I pleaded with the Lord. But ultimately, there was a place where he stopped with that prayer. And the reason is because it seemed as if God said, no, I'm not going to take it away. Because what you need is not just a change in your circumstances. What you need is a change of heart. What you need is a change in what your life is founded upon. And so you need that more. And so Paul stops that prayer. It's as if he's praying along the lines of Jesus. Father, if there's any other way, let this cup pass from me. But yet, not my will, let your will be done. So whatever it is that's plaguing you, that's hurting you, bring that to God. But then be content with the fact that he's God. And if he's not taken away or not taking it away right now or in the way that we want, it's because he has a greater purpose for that. And then finally, the last part of this, not only does he show us we need him to help us with our pride and with our prayer, but also finally with power. Verse 9, the answer comes. He says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. That is, my power plus nothing is enough. My power is made perfect in weakness. It's all you need. My grace is enough for you. What you need most is not a change in your circumstances. It's not a change in what's happening all around us in light of of what we've been going through with the pandemic or the injustices in our society, the things that God has revealed to us about our own weaknesses. What we need the most is his power that's made perfect in our weakness. And so look at Paul, what he does. He says, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses. What do we boast about? Usually we want to hide the weaknesses, right? But he says, I'm going to boast about them. Why? So that the power of Christ may rest upon me. He's saying, listen, if I get more of Jesus, then bring on the weaknesses. Then come on, bring them, because I want more of him, more than anything else, more than relief from these circumstances. I want him. And so then in verse 10, for the sake of Christ, then I am content. I'm all right, he says, with weaknesses and insults and hardships and persecutions and calamities. Why? For when I am weak, then I am strong. Is there anybody out there that's feeling weak today? Is there anybody that feels like you don't have enough strength to keep on going? Is there anybody that feels like you're ready to give up? Well, maybe you're in just the right place, right where you are right now, for God to reveal that his power is enough. His grace is sufficient for you right now. It's enough. It's all that you need. Maybe he's got us in a place where we can believe that, we can rely on that, and we can have something our souls thirst for more than relief from our circumstances. The power of Christ resting or dwelling in us and upon us. That's what we need more than anything else. Praise be to God that his grace is sufficient. And so we thank him for these weaknesses because they reveal to us, they remind us again that when we are weak, then we are strong. Amen, people of God. God bless you.